Hey guys, this month I decided not to do a end of the month kind of recap or a favorites video because I just wanted to kind of talk about some things. My son is 10 years old and we found out that my son was a severe case of bullying. We had known something was going on. He wasn't himself. He wasn't eating as much. He was kind of losing weight. He was very sad. He wanted to stick to himself. We knew something wasn't right. He had gotten involved with this little group of friends that from day one I said I didn't feel great about. But kids will be kids. I didn't want to say that you can't be their friend, and I wanted to go and just try to encourage friendship. So we had the little boy sleep over here a lot, and there was just some things that the little boy was just living a different life than we choose to raise our kids in. The little boy was allowed to be in his room by himself all the time with the door closed. The little boy was allowed to watch some R-rated horror movies. He just didn't really seem to have a lot of oomph for life. He didn't have to do sports or anything like that. He was just a very dark little boy. But I tried to encourage the friendship because I know that my son really loved having that friendship. Fast forward to about 2 months ago, and I got a call from Trevor's teacher saying, he's test up here. Trevor has tested at like really high levels from day one. He's very smart. But, he's always not really applied his best to actual work and things like that. But that now he wasn't turning in work, or he was just like a blank stare, like he had no idea what he was doing. But when the test came around, he could do the test. So she was like, I'm really at a loss. And she said, and I don't think that this certain friendship is a good friendship. And I'm like, well, I've been actually feeling that myself. So it's kind of good to hear that. She said, yeah, we've noticed a big change in your son this year, where we've had him for 5 years now. And things just aren't right. Well, fast forward to a few weeks ago, my son mentioned the word suicide because these boys had gotten into a huge argument because my son was trying to do whatever he could to fit in with them. And they decided that they didn't want to be his friends, just typical kid stuff. But my son was so attached to this little boy that he mentioned the word suicide and had a plan of suicide. My son is 10 years old. We had to rush him to the emergency room and get him medically evaluated to make sure that he was stable. We have since started a extensive therapy session, and we found out that this relationship was not a good relationship for him. And mother's intuition is always right. If you feel something is not right, then definitely step up and do something about it. It has been the scariest time of my life, but it was the slap in the face that we needed. We kind of have pulled him away from Xbox and iPad and all those things because he is 10 years old. And I have to remember that just because other parents are allowing their kids to do certain things, maybe that works for their children, but for my child and his maturity level and things of that nature, it wasn't a good idea to let him have those things. This little boy's brother unfortunately committed suicide, so I think that's how he found out about the word suicide. They had been talking about it, and since then we have banned the friendship. The school has worked with me to ban this friendship to get them separated, and Trevor is doing so much better now. He's smiling, he's happy, he's putting on a little bit of weight, he is seeing therapy, his schoolwork is better, and he's back to the old Trevor. But, I just wanted to put this out here. Just be kind with your words. And if you're raising children, teach them to be kind with their words. Words, no matter how nice or mean you make them, can hurt. And they hurt children, they hurt parents, they hurt everybody. And you just need to really watch what you say. I guess my only point in telling you this story is, if you're a mom, your mother's intuition is always right. It is. I've yet to be failed by it. And just be kind with your words. Teach your children to be kind with their words. You be kind with your words. If you want to snip or snap at your husband or your spouse or your mom or your dad, do it behind closed doors where your kids aren't seeing that. We found out a lot of issues with the little boy that we're having were basically kind of family things that in return he was bringing to school, and it was just hard. And I've had quite a few people in the past few weeks tell me I'm trying to be nice and I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but you do this and it makes me annoyed, or I don't want to watch you, or whatever. And you know, I get that. I get that I'm not going to make everybody happy and I'm not going to please everybody. And some things that I do or ways that I speak may annoy people. And that's fine. But I ask, the things that you're telling me, would you tell that to a friend? Would, you know, I love you, but you're annoying the heck out of me. I don't even want to be around you. Would you say that to people? Probably not. So I just think that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. You know, those words, I wouldn't say that they hurt me, but I just wonder if it annoys you so much, why are you watching? I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, maybe I'm super sensitive in the time right now that we're in where my son just has gone through all of this craziness basically due to people's words. You know, people's words can hurt or they can make you sad or they can, you know, make you do, unfortunately make my son say scary words. And you know, I love YouTube, I do. I love all the positivity I get. And I do understand that some people are genuinely supportive and are just saying, you know, this is really distracting. And I get that. But I also feel like sometimes some of the few comments that I've gotten recently, and it's maybe a handful, have been probably a little bit more on the malicious side of just trying to, you know, get a rise out of me or whatever. And I'm never going to, you know, act on that, but it just does make me kind of rethink every single thing that I put out on YouTube now. You know, unfortunately, I don't feel that I'm maybe being myself as much as I used to be because of everything that's gone on with my son in personal life and, you know, with me on YouTube. And yes, I realize I am putting my life out there. I am putting my family out there. I am putting my kids out there. But still, just practice kindness. I mean, that's how I was raised, and that's the type of person I am. If I don't like someone on Instagram, I just don't follow them. If I don't like someone on YouTube, and believe me, there are plenty of people that a lot of people love that do things that are distracting to me that I don't like, and I just don't watch them. I don't subscribe to them. And I guess, you know, I love my subscribers. I love the people that I see on a regular basis, and, you know, I do love the constructive criticism comments that I do get, but then sometimes I also feel like sometimes, and again, it's like 3 or 4 people over the course of a few months. You know, maybe some people are just, or maybe they don't realize the way that their words can affect people, you know, things like that. So I guess my interim for this month is just be kind with your words. Think before you say something. If you wouldn't like it being said to you, just don't say it, you know. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys probably in May or June, because for the next few months it's going to be really Disney-fied around here. And I expect to have a lot of flack for that too.